Good evening, part-time students. Welcome to lesson 30 and 31 of Digital Marketing 3, where the focus is going to be on legal forces. So we are continuing with our series on the macro digital environment, where we are doing the pestle analysis. Some call it SLEPT analysis. The focus is on P as an element of the political factors, E as an element of the economic factors, S as an element of the social factors, T as an element of the technological factors, L as an element of the legal factors, and E as an element of the environmental factors. So we discussed these in broad last week. The notes are on Core Campus and the recorded links are on Core Campus as well. I highly encourage you to have a look at the sessions that I have with the full-time classes, where there is a broader discussion, because in the evening lessons, mostly it's always pre-recorded lessons. So we have had a look at the economic factors. We discussed the economic factors. We discussed the impact of globalization on digital marketing. We discussed the role of inflation and everything that is happening now that is affecting media consumption, internet consumption, as well as internet engagement within the digital community. You'd realize, for example, as a result of load shedding in this country, it is having a huge impact on the economy. People are now investing in alternative energy, such as backup batteries, such as solar panels, such as generators, inverters, and so on, to an extent that if you do not do so, your internet consumption is going to be affected. How are you going to power your routers and so on? So that's how things that are happening globally and locally are shaping the way brands engage with the customers. Think about the adverts that are being aired on the television, even though television is traditional marketing. But if there are adverts that are being aired on TV, and then in certain areas there is load shedding or there are power cuts, it means that that campaign is not going to get much exposure in areas where there are power cuts because people will be offline. So that's how activities such as load shedding are having an impact on the economy, because if the campaign is not performing well, it means that it's not getting the intended exposure, and as a result, people won't be buying much from that campaign, and the brand will be losing a revenue. So we discussed the economic factors. We also discussed the political factors, the role of the government in the governance of the internet. The government does have control on the internet through taxation or even direct control, especially if there is a national security threat. The government can actually block certain websites or platforms. They can even actually turn off the internet. We have seen that in other countries when there is political change or when there are digital uprisings, the internet is always the first to be shut down. So if you realize that there are protests or there is a national shutdown, the government would attempt to shut down the internet so that people cannot mobilize each other on social platforms and so on. So We discussed the political factors. We looked at political control and democracy. Think about countries like China. Their Google search is controlled. So it means that the government determines whatever you want to search and its outcomes. You also need to understand internet governance, taxation. For example, in countries like Uganda, I can't remember whether it's Uganda or Ghana, you are actually taxed to be on the internet. So a certain airtime that you get, you pay 2% for tax. So you are charged 2% to be online. And also understanding social media and political change. So that was discussed last week. And we are going to continue uh, analyzing the pestle factors, but today the focus is going to be on the legal factors. So the outcome for this lesson is that at the end of this lesson, you should be able to unpack data protection and privacy laws. You should be able to understand disability and discrimination laws. You should be able to understand brand and trademark protection. You should also be able to discuss the impact of IP rights on digital marketing, and you should be able to understand um, online advertising laws. So these are things that we are going to be discussing today. And since there's no one in class and it's a pre-recorded lesson, I would really have loved to understand your insights on the evolving regulatory landscape in the digital environment, because laws, to some extent, it can be argued that are becoming redundant, especially considering the pace of innovation, considering the pace of technology. We never knew about Bitcoin, for example, and all of a sudden there's Bitcoin. So how do countries regulate Bitcoin? We never knew about artificial intelligence, and all of a sudden we have got artificial intelligence. So how do governments regulate AI in whatever circumstance, in whatever scenario that it is applied? It's always difficult to look for applicable laws and legislation to make sure that companies are compliant, individual customers are also compliant. So we are going to be unpacking these, and the terms that we are going to come across as this lesson progresses are ethical standards, privacy, identity theft, personal data, and malware. So I'm sure that some of these words already you have come across them, one or the other. You may struggle to describe or to unpack them here and there, but these are the words that we come across in digital marketing, especially when it comes to the Department of Legal Requirements. So are you operating your are you managing your campaigns in an ethical manner? What is it that you are doing in your marketing campaigns that is questionable, that may be deemed unethical or immoral? You know, we have heard some brands that to some extent you can call that they've been controversial, one or the other. For example, Nando's advertising, Some commentators have said that they are very provocative, they can defame people's characters. We have seen Nando's adverts having a go at Zuma, having a go at Robert Mugabe, having a go at dictatorship, and so on, like controversial things that are happening in the community. So, would you say that digital marketers at Nando's are getting away with murder on a daily basis? So these are the things that I wanted to engage with students today, but unfortunately, there are no students in the class. However, we are going to proceed. So before I look at the theoretical concepts of the legal forces influencing the macro environment, I want you to have a deep thought here on how legal forces influence digital marketing. Do we have to consider certain laws or certain regulations whenever we are coming up with strategies, whenever we are implementing strategies, and whenever we are tracking the performance of strategies? Are there some laws that we should abide by as digital marketers? So these are some of the things that we need to ask ourselves. Do we engage with suppliers on digital platforms? Are there any certain rules that we need to abide by? So I'd really love to hear some insights on that. I'd really love to hear some insights on the rules that digital marketers must be aware of. So laws are developed to provide a framework of control and regulations that aim to enable individuals and a brand to go about their business in a legal and ethical manner. However, laws are open to interpretation, and there are many legal and ethical considerations in the online trading environments. Digital marketers should be compliant with the law and adhere to ethical standards, but the rate of technology innovation is rapid, and consequently, the law is often unclear. I think I mentioned this before. For example, when some of these things that are in the Constitution and that are part of legislation were drafted, there was no TikTok, there was no AI, there was no Facebook. So how do you then regulate the digital environment when technology innovation is so rapid? So it's always unclear. And the other thing we discussed at the beginning of the year is that the digital environment is boundaryless. So it is not governed by territory. So what do you need to do as a brand that operates in multiple countries? Because you do not have something that is called a global law. You realize, for example, Facebook is an American company. TikTok is a Chinese company. But these companies operate in many countries, individual countries that have got different laws. So the way someone in Spain can interpret their laws can be completely different to the way someone in South Africa can interpret their laws. Something that can be considered nudity in South Africa might be considered not nudity in Spain. So things like that. So digital marketers need to tread carefully, since unethical action can result in serious damage to the reputation of a brand and consequently damage to the revenue of a brand, and a negative sentiment can result in reduction in online audiences and sales. So this is why we need to consider the aspects of digital, of legal factors, because whatever that you say or the way in which you practice as a brand, it can have a serious impact on your traffic to the website. All of a sudden, you are having boycotts. No one wants to be associated with you in the digital platforms, and you have got actually a huge number of unfollowing customers, unfollowing and dissociating themselves from from your brand, and so on. So these are things that should be considered as digital marketers. There are some laws or in your textbook that you need to have a look at that control digital marketing. We've got data protection law. In South Africa, it goes further. We've got the POPI Act, we've got Consumer Protection Act. You need to think about those. You also need to think about anti-spam legislation. So go through these on page 116 and 117 and think about their implications in digital marketing and how they can influence digital marketing. Then we also have disability and discrimination law. So these are laws relating to discriminating against disabled users who may find it more difficult to use digital marketing platforms because of audio, visual, or motor impairment are known as accessibility legislation. It is always vague because when it comes to the digital environment, it is not that popular that you might consider people are disabled the same way in the physical world, whereby companies are encouraged to have wheelchair access, to have wheelchair bathrooms, and so forth. But I've come across many information whereby companies create sites, create mobile applications with colors that are favorable to disabled people. So colors that can accommodate people who have got poor vision and so on. So they don't have to struggle to see the logo, to struggle to see the text, and so on. So digital platform accessibility refers to enabling all users of platforms to interact with it, regardless of disabilities they may have, or the web browser or the platform they are using to access the site. Then we've got brand and trademark protection. It's always good to protect the domain name of a brand. Nowadays, it stretches beyond the website. So some platforms have actually equipped companies with the legitimacy on their digital platforms. For example, on Facebook, you can actually be able to have that tick that shows that you are the official page for a company. So if it's Boston or if it's Adidas, the official page has got that tick that confirms that this is the official page for a certain company. The reason why you need to protect the brand trademark, it is because there are so many parody accounts out there. There are so many parody accounts out there, and some may steal your identity, making it look like as if it's theirs. There are so many McDonald's social media accounts out there that are actually fake. There are so many accounts for celebrities out there that they are so fake, but you won't even see whether they are fake or not because those people seem to be up to date with the information that is happening in those organizations, and they can post in content that is fresh and would think that this is the official page, yet it is not the official page. So that may, if you do not protect your domain name registration, you might have reputational damage in advertising, and it might also be difficult to monitor brand conversations in social networks and blogs. And the name that appear, the official name that appears in your registration document, it also has to be the same with what is on social media platforms. For example, if your name is Abednego Banda, it means that even on your Facebook, your social media accounts, you have to be Abednego Banda, or else someone is going to hijack it and name themselves as Abednego Banda. Hello, Kanye.
Hi, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yes, so for now it's you and me. I was actually pre-recording this session when you came in.
Okay.
Yes, so I was discussing the legal factors influencing digital marketing. So now I was on brand and trademark protection, moving on to intellectual property rights, like how does it affect digital marketing? Do you know what intellectual property is?
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay. And how do you think it can influence digital marketing, IP?
Um, like, so in terms of like content, or I'm not really sure.
Yeah, in terms of content and how you engage with audience.
So I don't want to lie. I'm not really sure how it can influence the digital marketing or affect digital marketing.
Okay. So you'd realize that content is the mother of digital marketing asset because it determines the levels of engagement with audience, particularly customers. So if that content is protected, there can be many legal ramifications pertaining to that content. So you need to use content that is original as digital marketers. You need to use content that is organic, especially nowadays in the era of chat GPT. Many practitioners, professionals are being caught off guard by using plagiarized content, and they might even end up in trouble as a result of that. So it is highly encouraged that you do not use information that you did not create yourself and was created by someone, and you do not actually give that originator, an accreditation. Don't give him credit that this is the content that belongs to this person. I've seen that even on Instagram when we are posting pictures and want to include songs there. Instagram actually allows you to give credit to the author of that song so that the song does not get abused. So closely related is copyright law, which is designed to protect authors, producers, broadcasters, and performers by ensuring they see some returns of their work every time they are experienced. So if it's for commercial purposes, you actually need to make sure that you give credit to the originators, and you can even share royalties together. Failure to do this, there may be some serious ramifications. Someone can sue you for their content, and it might even lead to the closure of businesses. Then we have got advertising laws. Before we go to advertising laws, I want to share a video with you on advertising, and I want to hear your thoughts. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen, and can you hear the audio, the sound?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Please pay much attention and let me know at the end of the video what your thoughts are.
Never seen the sky so blue. The birds are singing, I got nothing to do. Hey, 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 hey. It's just a sunny day. La-dee-da-da-da-da. Ain't no clouds up
What are your thoughts on this video?
Sharing is caring, and also that McDonald's is a well-established brand, so everybody loves it. So yes.
Okay, did you note that McDonald was dissing Burger King in their advert?
Oh yes, yes.
Mm. They were dissing, like they say that, you know what, if you've got a McDonald, everyone will be after you, right?
Yes.
Everyone will be after you if you've got like you won't eat it in peace. But if you've got a Burger King, no one is going to be after you.
Okay.
Mm.
So would you say that is comparative? Is it comparative advertising?
Yes, but it is illegal in South Africa. It is not
Yes.
allowed. You cannot diss another brand. So this happened elsewhere.
Okay.
That's why you'd see on brand power, whether it's Mark dishwasher liquid or it's sunlight liquid, whenever they are marketing their content, they'll say against competitor B. They never diss other brands, or maybe you are Nivea soap, all of a sudden you are dissing Doves, or you saying that you are better than it. It's illegal.
Okay.
So digital marketers must be well aware of the online advertising laws. So advertising standards that are enforced by independent agencies also apply in the internet environment. One particular challenge of advertising for consumers is that marketing communication must be obviously visible. So if you are to have complaints, you actually need to show that, you know, this is how we were dissed by the competitor. And, you know, we have seen many instances whereby Apple takes Samsung to court or vice versa, or Pepsi takes Coca-Cola to court as a result of the way it is being advertised. Recently, there was a court case between Hippo and Outsurance. Are you aware of it?
No, sir.
Mm. So you can just have a look. You can just Google and search about it. It was a huge case for digital marketers like me that, you know, I was following, you know, patiently to see how the ruling was going to affect the digital marketing industry, because those things are planned and executed by digital marketers. So Outsurance took Hippo to court because it felt like they were copying their branding and stuff like that. So legal factors can influence the way we practice the profession of digital marketing, because laws are developed in order to provide a framework of control and regulations that aim to enable individuals and brands to go about their business in a legal and ethical manner. However, laws are open to interpretations, and there are many legal and ethical considerations in the online trading environment. You know, that's why these interpretations have to be tested in the court of law. Digital marketers should be compliant with the law and adhere to ethical standards, but the rate of technology innovation is rapid, and consequently, the law is often unclear. However, digital marketers need to tread carefully, since unethical action can result in serious damage to the reputation of a brand, and negative sentiment can result in a reduction in online audiences or sales. So the following laws must be considered by digital marketers in their planning, in their implementation, and in their development of strategy. Data protection and privacy laws, we have got POPI Act, for example. You need to consider its impact on your strategy. You've got disability and discrimination laws. You've got brand and trademark protection. You've got IP rights, as well as online advertising law. Are there any questions?
I have questions, but I think they are more related to the assignment, especially with this last
Okay.
part. For example, the laws, can we include them under the environmental sectors, especially the legislate? I think this would fall under legislation, right?
Can you come
under.
again?
So
So you're
what
asking whether laws fall under environment or under?
I'm asking if can we, for legislation, can we include such laws, the ones that we just went
Yes, remember, it depends how you discuss or support your argument,
through? Okay.
because legal factors and political factors can be the same. I think I explained that in one of the pre-recorded links on Core Campus. So
Yes.
remember, laws are cooked by politicians. Do you know that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So politicians draft laws in parliament.
Okay.
Then those laws get used in court. For example, Poppy Act. It has to be approved first in parliament before it becomes a law itself. So you need to show how this thing is political or it is legal.
Okay. Another question is that, so for the buyer persona, is it
Yes.
can I choose to focus mainly on women because of the previous campaigns that um were launched, maybe? For example, with the car, is it what's the name of it again? Okay, I forgot the name of the car that we are doing. But the previous campaign, they were focused on women who live in the urban area. So can I focus on women only, or should I also include men?
It depends with your justification.
Okay,
So if you want to focus on women, you need to tell us why you think a woman is an ideal customer for this car.
okay,
Because remember, a buyer persona is an ideal customer that you have in your mind that is going to purchase the car. So you need to motivate. It doesn't necessarily have to be a woman, or it doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It doesn't necessarily have to be both. But whatever that you come up with, you need to motivate why you are having that ideal customer in form of a woman or in form of a man. And everything, not just gender. You also need to motivate why you choose a specific age, why you choose a specific location if they are from a specific area, why you are choosing a specific income, why you are choosing a specific marital status, whether they are married or not, why you are choosing a specific educational profile. You get what I mean?
okay. So, but under the I think they say we must list 5 facts, right, about it. So, for example, if that car brand ran a launch, okay, a campaign last year, and they provided that information, but they did not provide as to why they used it. For example, so they ran a campaign, a radio campaign, and they also provided the facts about them that they were women. So how do I go about justifying why they said they're using women?
Yeah, but remember, the reason why you must justify a segment is based on research, not based on what was used before.
Okay,
Because if you just use what was used before without explaining it, it means that it's not your own creation. It is someone's creation that was used before. So you need to go and find out if it was a woman who the previous campaigns targeted. Go and
mm,
research about women, because the facts that we want are not for the cars, are for the persona, why you want a certain persona. So I'll give you
okay,
an example. Let's say I've got a buyer persona for a woman that I'd like to marry. You know,
okay,
we always ask each other, like, what kind of a woman, what kind of a guy are you going to date? What is your ideal boyfriend, or what is your ideal girlfriend? We ask each other that. So it means that that boyfriend does not exist yet. But these are the key aspects that I'd like the potential boyfriend to have, right? So
mm-hmm,
you say, I'd love to have a muscular man, right? Fine, you are telling us that you'd like to have a muscular man. Now, Go and research about muscular men. Even if it is your ideal man, go and tell us what is it, what is information that has been put out there by muscular men that is going to influence your decision on getting a muscular man. So that's how a persona, a buyer persona works. You tell yourself that you want to target this group. Now you need to give us more information about that group, even information that has got nothing to do with the cars.
Oh, okay. So for example,
Because
if
that information, one or the other, is going to determine on how we are going to engage with that persona.
okay, so like for example, if I say they are classified under middle class, so then I should go and check that why am I saying middle class? Is it because of the age? Is it because maybe they are still in their early 20s or what? Is that what you're saying, sir?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, makes sense. Okay, yeah, I think I'm almost done with it, but I just needed clarification there and there.
All right, yeah. But if you revisit, especially if you go to the assignment and also go to the notes on buyer persona, then you wouldn't be confused at all.
So is it possible that maybe before submitting, maybe like this week, I can send it through to you and then just scan it?
Yeah, if I'm laughing, you just know your answer then. Yeah, I've heard many students asking for that, especially the previous year, not last year. Last year
Mhm.
they didn't dare, but I've heard that some lecturers do it, but truly speaking, we are not allowed to do that.
Okay.
Because if I have a look at your work before you submit, already I'm marking your work because I'll be telling you that here you are in the right direction, here you are not in the right direction. That's the purpose of marking. So I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
The brief itself is sufficient, Kanye.
Yes, I think maybe I'm lacking faith or maybe confidence. I need to be confident and trust
Yeah,
myself.
I get what you mean, but this is just the first assignment. So
Mm,
perhaps what I'd recommend is that after the assignment, we do a thorough revision so that you
okay,
know how to do stuff in the F2 and stuff like that.
okay. No, but I think
Mm.
I think I'm on the right direction now that you're explaining the assignment. I think I'm on the right direction.
Yeah, you just need to do the method that I told you. Like you ask yourself, who is my ideal boyfriend? You know? Then
Yes.
whatever that you are giving that boyfriend some characteristics, he has to be loving, he has to earn money, he has to do this and that. Go and research about it. What is it that is being said? Because there's information everywhere. I hear students saying that I'm not finding sources. That's not
Mm,
true.
that's not
Because if you say that the boyfriend that you want is aged between is a 24-year-old person, right? There
true.
is information about youths. You don't look at the exact age, you look at the category in which that person belongs. So if the person is 24 years old, you know that youths are between 18 and 34, right? You will
Yes.
find insights about the youths, and the person is going to fall under those insights.
So, sir, like when they create campaigns, right? Maybe like Facebook campaigns. Normally, they would provide information such as like universe size, the target audience. So that information, do they just generalize or maybe information that maybe they got after a certain campaign that they launched or what?
So that's why I always run away from the industry. I prefer, having the book, being a lecturer, because there's a lot involved in the industry when coming up with when managing a campaign. There are lots of customer insights that you need to generate. So
Mhm.
if you're an existing company like Coca-Cola has been there for a while. Whenever they run campaigns, they collect insights from those campaigns and they use these insights for future campaigns. But if you are
Oh,
starting from scratch, like your Oppo, these new phones, Oppo or new cars, Beijing,
yeah.
whatever, they are at a process of market development. If you did ENSOF grid, where there's market development and market penetrating. So they are developing from scratch. These ones, they need to buy insights. There are companies out there, research companies that, their existence is only to research consumers. You get insights from them. You'd
Oh,
understand demographics, you'd understand where
yes.
people hang out. What nowadays I know that there are so many companies that are interested in AMA 2000. They are having like in-depth research on AMA 2000. And then
Okay.
they sell their findings to brands.
Okay. But so would you say also like using the meta survey, it helps, right? Building campaigns,
Using what?
meta, like the meta interface.
Yes, it does. It
Yeah.
does help. Yeah, it helps a lot.
Okay.
So there are many components that help. Honestly, it is the same thing with Mjolo. Sometimes your personal experience, your past experience, is going to tell you that men are dangerous. You don't need to hear from someone else, but sometimes then you can hear from other people, like warning you, this is how it was. So the industry is also like that. You know,
Oh,
you,
okay.
you have got your own campaigns that you have done before. They are going to tell you that, what, talking from experience from our past campaigns, this is how likely this campaign is going to unfold. Or you go to others, the same way you can go to your cousin, show me, I want this person. What is it that I need to do? Then they give you advice. But nowadays, there are technologies, so many tools, so many plugins that can help you uncover many insights about customers.
So can your KPIs also tell you what type of client you're dealing with? Like for example, if there are people who like using technology because of maybe the pay-per-clicks that you're getting or impressions that you're getting, can your
Yes,
KPIs
they
also
do.
do that? Okay.
They do, but remember, statistical information is very dangerous because it only gives you the numbers.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't give you the meanings behind. For example, if KPI says that this campaign generated 5,000 impressions,
Mm,
you won't know why. You still need to go to those research companies. Then they are going to tell you that if it was viewed by this group of individuals, the reason is A, B, C, D. Because sometimes, other than looking at the numbers, you also need to understand the why.
okay.
And it's difficult to get the why. For example, if Cassper Nyovest generates 15 million views, then Kelly Kumalo only generates 5 million views. You can see the KPIs are there. They are telling you what's happening. But how are you going to understand why Kelly Kumalo has got this number of followers or views and why Cassper Nyovest have this? So researchers are going to uncover that for you. And sometimes you've got also researchers in-house, those that have been employed within the company to do that.
Okay.
Mm.
So, sir, you say you're a marketer, right?
Pardon?
You say you're a marketer.
I'm in the field of digital marketing, so I wouldn't call myself a marketer yet, but yes.
Oh, okay. So what do you do?
I work at a publishing company called Business Management. It's a business brief. So it
Oh,
it it um it publishes business management content. So I'm the communication and market research marketer there.
oh, okay.
Yes, so that's where I deal with a lot of advertisers. I manage the entire website, so I determine the adverts that go on the website. I place them. I also look at these KPIs that you are mentioning. I did SEO. All this stuff some of the stuff that I teach in class, I also do them in the industry.
Do you build campaigns?
Pardon?
Do you do campaigns also? Like, do you build campaigns?
Yes, I do. I work with agencies, by the way. So I do.
Yeah. The likes of
There's
what?
a Sams- there's a Samsung campaign that I was working with Public Media recently, and they asked me for a CPA, and I didn't know what CPA is. So I asked them, then they explained to me. So these are the things that I learn on a daily basis as well.
Can you just please remind me what is a CPA? I know it, but I think I forgot it. Is it cost per
It's
acquisition?
a campaign post analysis.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
because I'm so rich with so many acronyms, that's why I told the lady, like, yo, there are so many acronyms in marketing. So just remind me what a CPA is. And then she told me, then I gave her what she was looking at. So I work with campaigns on a platform side because I'm a publisher. So we are a
Oh,
publishing company. We are the media. We host adverts. We host marketing campaigns.
okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit closer to what I do, sir.
Okay. What is it that you do?
So, sir, I'm unbiddable, but I do social.
Okay.
I focus on building campaigns, yeah, reading briefs and all those things.
So do you also track campaigns and give out reportings?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'd like to get insights from you then. I'm not into socials, I'm into newsletter side and website
Mm.
side. So I work with Google Analytics, your likes of Google AdSense, and so on.
So you're more on the search part, sir, like
Pardon?
Google search. I'm saying you're more on the search part
Yes,
because
the search
yeah,
part and the reporting of campaigns. So how do
I
you have
think
to up the rankings and their visibility
mm,
and so forth?
yeah.
Mm.
I think that one is a bit complicated for me, or maybe it's because I don't have passion for search. But I would love to learn search. But I'm more comfortable on the social part.
Okay. That's how strange it is because when you are not doing something, it intimidates you. Social
Yeah.
things intimidates me, but I don't think it's because I'm not in that field. So it's the
Mm,
same way you'd feel like search intimidates you because you're not yet there. But once you know one or two things, I think it could work for you, and
yeah.
it could also work for me on socials. By the fact that you know nothing at the moment, it can actually sound intimidating.
Yes. Yes.
Mm. Okay, are you happy with the assignment so far?
Yes, I'm happy, sir. I'm happy. I'm just looking it up, then I'm done.
Okay, that's wonderful. Um, as I mentioned when you joined in, just checking something is not coming.